Welcome back. In this section, we're going to be looking at doing color correction for our movie. We're getting kind of towards the end of the post-production. Very exciting. This is kind of the visual tweaking aspect, and then we'll get into audio in the next section, and then finally rendering. We're going to be starting out with the project 4i VFX Done. Go ahead and right-click in your project manager and say Import Project. And we're going to select this one right here, 4i VFX Done.drp, and open that up. Make sure everything's connected. Just box select everything in your media pool, right click on anything and say relink clips for selected bins. Go to wherever your work files are, select media and hit select folder. And that should relink everything and look great. And you should have something like this. First thing that we're gonna do is prep our project for color just to make things a little bit easier on us. And then we'll go through some of the basics of how the color page works. So the first thing that we're gonna do is go through our timeline and make sure that this video isn't on two layers for no reason. So this one here is because we're doing a soft split, so that's fine. This one, the video layers are switched out because we wanted this audio to be layered. But what I'm going to do is hold Alt and click on this, and then with Alt held down, we'll hit down on the keyboard just to collapse this shot. And the reason we're doing this is just, it's going to be easier to identify the shots that we're working with here in color. We just want to make this the least complicated we can. So I'm just grabbing and dragging with my middle button on my mouse and looking for anything that's up here on the second track. So this right here is only here because we're cutting to it. So again, I can grab this Alt and down on the keyboard. Same thing for this shot right here, Alt and down on the keyboard. We're trying to make everything on video one if we can. Again, I'll hold Alt and select this upper video track so it doesn't squish the audio there too, because we do want the audio on different layers. That's not going to matter. But we want the video all in one layer if we can, if we're doing hard cuts back and forth. Same thing here. And I think all of this is back and forth. There isn't any reason for this to be on the second layer. So hold down Alt and just box select all of this. Alt down. This one, same thing. Alt down. And now we have everything basically on one layer unless it's a soft split. These soft splits we have on two layers. If we were to collapse this down, then this is not what we want, right? So we're gonna keep those how they are, and we'll just deal with those couple instances. The other thing is when this dust is falling, we'll have to remember that's a thing. But other than that, things should be pretty normal. The other thing I'm gonna do is get rid of our markers because we don't really need those anymore. We have all of our VFX done. I'm gonna right click here in our time ruler and say remove all markers. All right. This is also a good idea if you are working on your own project to save this as a new version at this point. Because if you mess something up here, it's nice to be able to go back to a previous version. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna hit Control-Shift-S and save this. This is gonna be 5A color prepped. And now we have our timeline and our project all prepped for color. And I'm going to export this. I'm just right click and say export project for you to open later if you want to. And now we are all ready to jump into the color page.